Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. The dollar pushes back gold, at least for now. Let's explore. Yes, this comes to us from Market Watch, and it's a market update here for the precious metals market. We did our Sunday night market watch. Religiously, we do that at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday nights, watching the prices up a little bit out of the starting gate, but that was in Asia. And as the markets opened up here in the United States, well, the dollar took a victory lap. And the strength of the dollar pushed gold down below $1,700 for a time. Where it stands right now, it's just barely above $1,700. But let's take a look at this article here. Gold prices fell on Monday, with strength in the dollar pressuring prices for the precious metal as investors eyed concerns about tensions between the U.S. and China and the latest moves to relax shutdowns related to COVID-19. The rise in the U.S. dollar has pushed gold into the red, and David Madden, a market analyst at CMC Markets UK, adding that prices haven't moved much below the $1,700 mark. Some traders are nervous about the prospect of a second wave of COVID-19 as economies begin to reopen. So that has probably prevented gold from falling further, he said in a market update, and I agree with that. President Trump's administration, meanwhile, is planning to issue a warning that hackers tied to the Chinese government were attempting to steal data from U.S. researchers developing a coronavirus vaccine, according to the Wall Street Journal. The charge comes as Sino-American tensions have flared up lately, with Trump on Friday saying during a Fox News interview that he was unsure if he should cancel a partial trade deal between Washington and Beijing forged in January. That's going to certainly complicate things. On COMEX, gold fell $15.90, or 0.9%, to settle at $1,698. It since gained about $2 more since then, after a most active contract for gold saw a weekly rise of almost 0.8% put on Friday. Jeff Wright, Executive Vice President of Gold Mining Inc., said he doesn't expect prices to fall much below the $1,700 mark as U.S.-China trade tensions are beginning to rise again. And Democrats are about to propose more than $750 million in yet additional coronavirus aid. Most of that money will go towards states and local governments, although there is a measure that's being talked about again. We've been seeing it around social media about these $2,000 payments and $1,000 a month for each American for a year, something that I had talked about quite a while ago that was floated around, and to be paid off with a platinum coin, one for each trillion of those 2 trillion. Of course, there's way more than that right now in that particular proposal. And so, how are they going to pay that off? Well, just make one $25 trillion platinum coin that'll take care of all the debt. Everything will be just fine. What do you think? And it's using precious metals to do it. Why not? Anyways, the article continues that Bull's next upside price objective is to produce a close in June futures above solid resistance at the April high of $1,788.80. Wrote Jim Wyckoff, senior analyst at Kitco.com, in a Monday research note. Technically, the gold bulls have the overall near-term technical advantage and an uptrend on the daily bar chart, he said. Bear's next-term downside price objective is pushing futures prices below solid technical support at $1,666.20. Meanwhile, July silver lost 0.46%. 9.8 cents or 0.6 at $15.68 an ounce, following a weekly rally of nearly 6% for silver futures, according to FactSet data. Could this be the beginning of a rally for silver? I wouldn't hold my breath on that, really, but it is encouraging to see it at least strongly above $15 now. In fact, let's take a look and see what silver is doing. Yep, $15.58 now. So it's basically back down pretty much to zero gains from the opening of the markets. The measure of the dollar against a half dozen currency rivals was up 0.5% to 100.21 in Monday dealings, as gauged by the ICE US dollar index. Stronger dollar can make commodities priced in the currency like gold more expensive for buyers using other monetary units. And by the way, gold is breaking records based off of other currencies out there. In fact, silver is doing fairly decently in other currencies, but anyways, and that's just it. The gold is pushing the dollar is pushing gold back for now, but with all that's going on, with all the money printing and more to come, this stimulus and these things, when you flood the market with dollars, you're diluting the money supply, and sooner or later that's going to come back to bite us. It has not yet, through 3 previous rounds of quantitative easing and other side-handed methods, that we're seeing, such as the repurchase agreements, they feel pretty emboldened to be able to do this kind of thing. It's only until the system itself and all that's enveloped in the system lose faith in the fiat. In other words, the government decree of the value of the dollar. We could go on for another 10 years of doing this, or maybe even 20. It all depends on the faith and the full credit of the United States government and the institutions that back it, including the Federal Reserve. So who knows? It may be a while, or it could crash tomorrow, or they could be planning a reset for when that faith is lost to be able to regain faith. It's all psychological at this point, because logistically and logically, it doesn't make sense that the dollar is continuing in this manner. It just doesn't. It didn't make sense back in 2013, in my view, or even with the first round of quantitative easing. But I digress. Copper down a little bit. Platinum down a little bit. In fact, let's take a look at those other 2 metals. Platinum is down just barely. Palladium is up $7, and look at that. Rhodium is taking a little bit of a movement here, up 20%, $700 increase, still a $3,000 spread between the bid and ask price for that metal. I don't even know if you can buy rhodium anymore. I don't know. I haven't checked. Don't plan on spending even $5,000 for an ounce of rhodium right now. Certainly not going to sell my ounce, but I think it's interesting to see where things are going and how these metals are reacting. Again, gold only took a pretty small dip today, but it is interesting to see that the dollar is remaining strong in these times, in this case, and I believe it will go on until there's more bad economic news. And I believe with every passing day, even as we begin phase 1 of opening the economy back up, it's just the very little baby steps we're taking to get back to a normal economic situation. And even before COVID-19, we were in trouble. I mean, these repurchase agreements should have concerned a lot more people than they have. Of course, the media is not going to focus on that kind of thing, the mainstream media. But there's some real issues. There's some real problems there that I think are concerning. And it's only when it becomes too late that the media will report on it, which is why channels like this and others out there talk about these types of things. That should raise a lot of alarms for most of us. This is why we stack precious metals. Gold, the ultimate safe haven against economic instability. Not just inflation, by the way, but economic instability. That's the difference. And silver as well. Silver has yet to really shine in this present crisis, but it really didn't shine in the last crisis either until much later. It always follows along the coattails of gold, but nonetheless, I believe owning both is wise. I believe it's not prudent to sell either metal unless you have to, or feel like you've made a strong enough gain that you can take that money and either invest it or somehow make it work for you in the future. But I believe these are the times that we need to save. And it's not just save in precious metals, but also they have some cash on hand in that case of emergency. So there you have it. Post your thoughts below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch. And please hit the like button, or press it, or smash it, or crush it, or what have you, because it does help the algorithm. Because some reason the YouTube algorithm it catches some of my videos and other times it doesn't. But it does help the channel a lot for sure when you do press that like button. So thank you so much for that, and a multitude of gratitude to you all, and encourage you to please share and subscribe as well.